Welcome to Cineights, where you get to know the best movies and series. Today's video is about best TV shows of 2023. I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to watch until the end because I'm sure you will like it. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. The Bear Season 2, the chaotic first season of The Bear plunged us headfirst into the extremely stressful world of Chicago chefing, with barely a moment to stop and smell the beef shin ragu. Season 2 takes things marginally slower, with Jeremy Allen White's intense Carmen Berzatto leading his kitchen brigade as they attempt to open up a Michelin star-worthy restaurant on the site of his late brother's sandwich shop. This time around there's a soppy love story in the mix, with Carmy navigating a romantic relationship with his childhood crush Claire, but more thrillingly, a seriously high-octane host of guest stars. Jamie Lee Curtis, Sarah Paulson, Will Poulter, Gillian Jacobs and Bob Odenkirk all deliver powerhouse turns, with a frenetic Curtis, as Carmy's unstable mother, pulling in a career-best small screen turn. Yes, and we can't stress this enough, Chef. Succession Season 4, Succession creator Jesse Armstrong and co. could easily have eked out another season or two of their Emmy-garlanded satire. This was not a writer's room running short on inspiration or crushing putdowns, and a less audacious show would have kept that big early season twist for much later in the final run. But Succession nailed the landing perfectly, delivering its winner and a multitude of losers at precisely the right moment. Eyeing up its biggest question, what would happen to the kids without Dad's unique brand of sneering coercive control to rein them in a brilliantly conceived and immaculately acted run of episodes. Succession makes capitalism's most unpalatable truths into unmissable entertainment. Top Boy Season 3, after 5 seasons, a body count nearing 3 figures and some of the most gripping TV in recent years, Top Boy wrapped up with a blistering 6-episode final season that stuck the landing, and then some. It offered conclusive proof that the moody charisma that Ashley Walters and Kane Robinson have always brought to the roles of Dushan and Sully, friends turned rivals for control of East London's drugs trade, shouldn't obscure the quality of their acting, as the pressure cranks up and the pair start to lose control. It's also the season when the terrific Jasmine Jobson got her moment as the conflicted Jack, and as if it was needed, Barry Cogan pitched up with a bucketload of queasy menace as an Irish drug lord. All, the kind of electrifying, smartly plotted sign-off that should see Top Boy takes its place alongside The Wire, The Sopranos and Breaking Bad in the pantheon of great crime TV shows. The Last of Us, adding clickers and shamblers to our daily vernacular and leaving us eyeing up those moldy mushrooms in the veggie drawer with added suspicion. HBO's adaptation of the monster-selling video game is the grand spectacle we'd all hoped it would be. And Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey bring more than enough humanity, humor and warmth to stop us weeping through ever-gripping moment of Joel and Ellie's desolate, zombie-riddled trek through a desolate America. I still wept, though, especially during that heartbreaking standalone 3rd episode. Linda Ronstadt is going to a tough listen from here on in. Barry Season 4, as Bill Hader's dark comedy went along, the darkness threatened to fully subsume the comedy part of the equation. Indeed, by its 4th and final season, the uneasy balance that gave the show its singular tone had tipped almost completely into despair. Everyone is down bad. Hader's titular hitman-turned-actor is in prison for murdering a cop, his on-off girlfriend's dreams of stardom are as dead as the man she killed in self-defense, and his mentor is racked with paranoia and narcissism. Amazingly, though, when Barry wants to be funny, it's still funnier than just about anything else on TV. See Fred Armisen's hilariously gory botched assassination attempt in Episode 3. It doesn't quite stick the landing, relying on a few convenient plot contrivances and a disorienting time jump to get where it wants to go. And as it got increasingly hard to watch, Barry was equally difficult to turn away from, right up to its bitter, bleak, painfully ironic end. The Fall of the House of Usher. If you twist modern-day capitalism a notch or two, you get a deadpan satire like Succession. If you keep cranking that dial, a gloriously extravagant kind of horror ensues. Props to Netflix's master of the macabre Mike Flanagan for spotting the potential for grand guignol infusing Edgar Allan Poe's Gothic classic with a Succession story of a cursed, Richard Sackler-alike billionaire who, in an effective framing device, relays the dark fate of his offspring to the lawyer who's fought tooth and nail to bring him down. Sometimes operatic, sometimes locating moments of pathos amid the bloodshed, it's nicely played by a cast that even throws in Mark Hamill as the family's sinister, husky voice fixer. Depressingly, it's probably the closest we'll get to witnessing the people behind America's OxyContin epidemic get their comeuppance, but it'll do for now. I'm a Virgo, with the edge of Spike Lee and the imagination of Spike Jonze and Charlie Kaufman. Boots Riley's brilliantly offbeat Amazon show is an almost undefinable collage of touching coming-of-age drama, gonzo superhero adventure and fiery political manifesto. There's loads squeezed into its 7 episodes, as 13-foot-tall Cootie gets to grips with his own giant stature, his sexual awakening and a revolutionary cause. Walton Goggins is the hero, a sinister super with more than a touch of the boys' Homelander, embodies Riley's major preoccupation, a capitalist system that's underpinned by legitimized violence. This small-screen follow-up to Sorry to Bother You is sharp enough to make communists of us all. The gallows pull. Not every great TV show needs to rumble on for 10 sofa-bothering hours. Shane Meadows' rip-roaring period piece comes in 3 pacey installments, more a quick hit than a binge, and leaves you wanting more. Its lovable characters, a tight-knit rural community scratching a living in late 18th century Yorkshire, are led by David Hartley, a real-life Robin Hood whose coin-clipping skills offer them all a way out of poverty. It's like an Ealing comedy with a Meadows sensibility, affectionate piss-taking, blues rock music cues, trippy interludes, split-screen shots of chickens and all. Socha is a roguishly charming heart for the story, adapted from Benjamin Myers's award-winning novel, but everyone in the often improvising cast keeps it fueled with warmth and laughs too. Blue Lights, trying to make a new cop show without cliches is a bit like attempting to jump into the ocean without getting wet. Massive props, then, to a gripping and cliché-free police drama that started impressively and ended up feeling like it just might grow into Belfast's answer to The Wire. Its tight-knit police unit is beautifully sketched and impeccably played, with Game of Thrones' Richard Dormer and Sean Brooke standouts as a salty old-timer with a past and an ex-social worker finding radically different ways to get the job done. Gen V, The Boys, showrunner Eric Kripke's gore-spurting satire of Soup's Gone Bad, leans heavily on gross-out comedy. So there was a real risk that this spin-off, set in a very X-Men academy for horny teens who want to make it into that show's elite superhero posse, The Seven, would be too juvenile. But Kripke and co-creators Evan and Craig Rosenberg kick it sky high. There's something creepy going on in the school's basement, but social media-addicted students including Jazz Sinclair's blood sword-wielding Marie and Lizzie Broadway's shrinking Emma are here to save the day. The good kind of gonzo. A Small Light, it's not easy to PGIFY the Holocaust without softballing its epical horrors or choosing a problematic perspective, as The Boy in the Striped Pajamas amply demonstrates. Massive credit, then, to National Geographic's tough but still family-friendly drama for finding a fresh angle on the Anne Frank story that pays tribute to the Jewish community in hiding in wartime Amsterdam and to the Dutch people who hid them. Front and center is Belle Powley, who is surely Emmy-bound for her towering turn as Miep Gies, the woman who hid the Franks at huge personal risk. It's a gripping, deeply emotional story about occupation, resistance, collaboration, and, most of all, moral courage. Beef, Korean director Lee Sung-jin's spiky black comedy, a kind of falling down with belly laughs, is a watch-through-your-fingers burst of fury and existential despair that will chime even with people who'd never dream of pursuing a road rage incident to the point of catastrophic self-sabotage. That's the spiraling scenario. Steven Yeun's struggling handyman, Danny, and Ali Wong's unhappy entrepreneur, Amy, fall into over 10 propulsive episodes. The two Angelinos collide and recollide in a show that gives odd expression to the stresses of modern life. The supporting cast, especially Joseph Lee as Danny's puppy dog brother Paul, is a knockout too. Only Murders in the Building Season 3, a whodunit wrapped inside another whodunit. There's an eccentric genius at work in the 3rd season of Steve Martin's inspired collaboration with John Hoffman. This is the run where the show leaves the Upper West Side, half-shelves its podcast device and fully indulges its inner Louis, uniting Martin Short's theater director Oliver Putnam and Steve Martin's coasting actor Charles Hayden Savage for a murder mystery musical in which Paul Rudd's narcissistic Alistair is actually murdered. The ensuing episodes offer a richly entertaining showcase of sleuthing, suspects and the ego-driven mayhem involved in putting on an off-Broadway production. Martin and Short always play to the gallery, dropping in callbacks to everything from Three Amigos to Father of the Bride. Meryl Streep appears as an overthinking thesp and Matthew Broderick cameos. Short. It's a delight. One word of warning: you will never get that Pickwick triplets song out of your head.